how sweet it is. I'm gonna do that one again. How sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. So happy to have all of you here with me today. So happy to have you here with us today, because I am not flying solo today. Oh no, the rambling nerd himself, Anthony, is in the house with me today, and I am happy that he's here. For no reason in particular, just happy he's here. But I'm happy you guys are here. Thanks for joining. Not gonna lie, I came home today. I was just like, sat on the chair, and I was like, God, do I really want to go live tonight? Do I really want to do this tonight? But it's because of all of you. All you jerks are the reason I keep showing up every week. And I thank you for it. You motivate me to do the show. And I know it's part of your week. It's part of my week. It's part of our hype to get into the weekend. So let's get hyped together. First show with me in it. Shout out to Sal. After the lift of the SAG strike. So it's apropos that Anthony's here, because we're gonna ramble. There's gonna be a lot of rambling. We got a lot of shit to talk about. Heads will roll, as they say. But as I normally say, if you got a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, new hardware in the finger, newsletter, smoke signals, OnlyFans. Did I say it? Which one did I mess up? I messed up one of them. Put in the chat, support one another, plug your shit. But without further ado, yeah, you're right. I almost missed the drum roll, but we brought it back together. What is up, ladies and germs? Anthony's in the house, sir. How are you doing today?
I am good. How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Now
One weekend. How
rolling.
we doing?
What was it?
1 weekend. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. If I was telling everybody, it feels like normal now. Like that's the thing. It just feels right. So I'm loving it.
Good. Glad to hear. It was a great wedding.
There you go.
My own fault. I remember too much of it, so that was my own fault. I should have drank more.
Hey, you and Josh helped me pack up parts of the wedding, so I forever in debt to you both.
All good.
Before we continue, before I say hi to everybody in the chat, I want to do our shameless plugs. But why don't you cover your face just in case I didn't check the other monitor here. So I'm going to switch over to the share screen. It's a good thing hang on. Keep it there. Boom. It's a good thing I'm sharp, man. I'm sharp. You would have been exposed just now. You're good.
You don't want me exposing myself on the internet. There's a paywall for that.
Exactly.
There's a paywall for that.
And that paywall can be found at nerdaffiliated.com, where you can find not only links to that paywall under our channel memberships, but links to everything. If you want to donate to the show, to the channel, feel free to do that. You can find links to all of our latest videos, our latest clips, our latest shorts, and of course, our various channels. But like I said, channel memberships, go over there, support those of us that are in YouTube jail for just $1 a month. And we actually started yesterday. Yesterday was our first time doing a live show just for members, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Yeah.
And also, I'm so scatterbrained. I was like, yesterday was that only? It was only yesterday.
Yeah, it was only like it was yesterday, as the kids would say, or the old people. One of the two. Anyway, let's say hi to everybody in the chat before we proceed. T3 in the house. Good to see you. He says he is second. Let me scroll back in my chat here. I don't see who was first. Was it you?
No, not tonight.
Let me see if I turn my filter off to all messages. Yeah, I only see that T3 was second. I see that Mark was third. Good to see you, Mark. So I'm not sure who was first. Whoever that is, feel free to come on down.
Yeah, interesting.
God damn it, I forgot to send Solar Gravity his T-shirt. I got to do that. Remember the 5th of November.
I'll send you a text.
There you go. General
Solar what?
Kenobi. Solar Gravity, right? Is that
Solar
who won?
Gravity.
Wait, Solar Gravity changed his name to something else. But I know who it is. But General Kenobi. Good to see you. Yeah, something looks a little familiar on screen there. So make sure you guys head over to General Kenobi's Bunker on YouTube. Check out the link to his store. Get yourself some cool merch. But more importantly, support your friends. Get merch. Join some channel memberships. Do some super chats. Support each other. Because that's the only way we're going to survive.
Oh, yes.
Workshop in the house. Good to see you. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Oh, no. I was just saying, I was agreeing with you. We have to support one another.
Yeah, exactly. T3 in the house, as I mentioned. Good to see you. Shout out to T3. We did a conversation yesterday. We'll talk about it tonight, too. We did a conversation yesterday about the state of the MCU, and he got me finally. Lenny's been trying to do it for a while. T3 was the final straw. Got me on the Letterboxd website where you can do movie rankings and stuff.
Yep.
So there's a link to that down below in the description, and all of us, I think, on the channel we'll curate some lists, top 10s, top 20s, and it could be discussion points moving forward.
Yeah, I'm game.
Yeah. Patrick in the house, good to see you. Dre in the house, good to see you. And T3 says that Dave's Dimension was first. So shout out to Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
But more importantly, just kidding, that's not more important to Dave. But I got to say, I forgot to say that hopefully by now, I should have at least by now, hopefully you've poured yourself just a little bit of,
more specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
as we got the show rolling. But Anthony.
Present.
Anthony. What was the first show, franchise, movie that was just burning at your guts that you want to talk about? We don't have to talk about the whole thing now, but what was that one thing that since the strike happened, you're like, I want to talk about this. It's eating me alive. What was that first thing that you want to talk about?
I mean, unfortunately, not because of a good reason. Ahsoka.
Yep.
Because of a good reason, I've started to get into Invincible. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, I had nothing against it. I just time
Yep.
management.
Yep.
So I say Ahsoka first because that's really the main thorn in my side.
Mhm.
But Invincible on the good side, Invincible, The Witcher, which I still have to finish, Henry Cavill's last season. I started House of Usher. That's like weird and really cool. It's nice to have a break from superhero stuff occasionally. So yeah, there's some good stuff, but just like for the anger, for the emotion, for the hate, I dare say hate, Ahsoka.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah.
For those of you in the chat, what's the one show topic movie that you guys have been waiting for us to talk about? Right now, Kenobi said Ahsoka is what he's waiting for because it's the show that saved Star Wars. But I want to see what you guys have been waiting for us to talk about in any franchise, TV show, movie, etc. There'll be so many podcasts of us just doing backlog of reviews. So stay tuned for that.
Mm-hmm. And we did start on the movies, and that's on the channel. That review.
Yep. So make sure you check that out. We dropped that podcast yesterday, just talking about the movies of the past year.
Yeah.
But Kenobi says he's disappointed in The Witcher, and I can't say I disagree because I didn't make it out of season 1, so I kind of, I was whatever about it. But I know you and Sal love it.
Yeah. In general, why are you disappointed? Are you a fan of it's a game, right? Or no, it's books.
And a game.
Shit. And a game. Are you disappointed because it doesn't live up to the books and or the game, or is it just because I think I said in the chat I only saw how they released it in 2 halves. I only saw the first half, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I was okay with it so far. And the first season is just so hard to watch. It really is because they jump around in time, but you don't know they're jumping around in time. So it's just it's so very weird. But season 2 they do it linear because you don't know at a certain point. What was it? So do you remember any of the first season? So
I remember him fighting that creature in the opening scene in the water, and then I remember him fighting in a town at one point, and that's about it.
Yeah, so there's a princess that gets involved naturally, Siri, I believe. Suri?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I haven't watched it in a minute. Whoops. Anyway, and she's going through some stuff, and then there's the Henry Cavill stuff before they get reunited or united for the first time. And you don't know, and you find out later that the Henry Cavill stuff has happened decades before she was ever born. So it's stuff like that. He knew her parents type of thing, and before she was born. So you're just when you find that out, you're like, oh shit. Okay. They jump around, it kind of makes sense, I guess, a little bit more after that, but thankfully for season 2 they ditched that whole storytelling device, and they just did it. Everybody was operating from the same starting point. It wasn't X amount of time in the past or any of that shit. So yep, there they are.
Well, T3 says he never watched The Witcher, which I don't know, I'm kind of surprised by that, but I thought you would have enjoyed that. Going back a step before we continue on the Witcher comments, something that I believe you actually mentioned this 2-ish years ago. You were going to do some reviews on it. We kind of stopped talking about it, but Quantum Leap. That was one that you started. I think you finished the season, no? There's only one season.
I did finish. Yeah, the second season started, and I think I finished the first episode of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying because they're not. You get the sense they're not. Well, not the sense. They're not going to really do anything to end. Not end, but they're not going to do anything to answer questions from the original series. Dean Stockwell, Al, obviously no longer with us. Scott Bakula said he's not involved, but good luck and God bless. They show their images in the pilot of the new show, and so and they very much reference the characters all the time throughout the first season. But yeah, I mean, it's just so weird, and I guess it expands the mythology a little bit, but also ignores shit that was set up in the first show, and it's I think Dave said it on his YouTube show one night when I dropped in. There's elements from the first show that are just completely missing, and the supercomputer that they use that Sam developed in the original, it actually had a voice and a personality and all this shit. And now in the new show, it's just rows and rows of servers, and it can't talk or anything like that. And it's you moved it out of the desert.
Wiggy or something?
Ziggy. Ziggy is a computer. Gushy was the guy, I believe. They never mentioned him, but I always, for some reason, flipped those two. But yeah, now the supercomputer it's just a mystery. It doesn't talk. It doesn't like explain itself. I don't know if it's supposed to be Ziggy version 2 or if they just ported it over from the old Quantum Leap headquarters. I don't know. And also, like, they left, there's things like that they said in the original series that they just decided to completely ignore, like Sam having a daughter with, it's like, it's a very weird thing. He had a daughter on one of his leaps, like he knocked somebody up, and the
Mm.
daughter eventually joins Project Quantum. Like they say at the end of the episode, like she joined Quantum Leap and she's got ideas on how to bring you home and all this shit. They mention one of Al's daughters. They never mention his daughter. They never mention Sam's wife. So I don't know. It's not a bad show on its own, but because there's so much referencing the old stuff, but I feel like they're never gonna answer the questions or anything like that.
Mm.
It's kind of hard for me to really give a shit.
Yeah. Well,
Who knew I was sitting on that one?
yeah, I was like, you fucking you. Well, Dre
Sorry,
disagrees
guys.
with you. Dre said that. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong one. Where was it? I just saw it. Dre said that is wrong about Quantum Leap. They are doing a lot of lore digging in season 2.
They are. I only saw the first episode of season 2,
Oh, okay.
so I think they're 4 or 5 in now. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they are doing that, great. But I just hope. I mean, I don't know. Throw some money at them. Bring Scott Bakula back. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like spoiler for season 2. There's a time gap between the end of season 1 and season 2 because I forget the scientist's name, but one of the scientists like appears at the end of the leap. His hologram, well, not his hologram, his person who appears as a hologram is absent the entire episode. Madison. He has to figure out the leap on his own, and then in like the last couple seconds, one of the other characters appears. I forget his name, and before as he's leaping, he's like, "You've been gone for 3 years. We thought we lost you. We thought you were dead." So there's that added drama to it. Also, I guess everybody thought he was dead, so who knows what the project looks like now.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I mean,
T3 says,
I'll go
Do you
back
feel better?
and
Do you feel better after that?
I guess I did. I didn't know. I really didn't know I was sitting on that. But
Yeah, you went.
there you go.
You went in on that. We lost you.
I really
we lost
did.
you to time travel just now.
You did a little bit. But you know what? I started watching almost a year ago after Sal's heart issue and my nose issue. When I couldn't sleep at night, I started watching the original series on Peacock. So it's
Yeah.
all fresh.
Actually,
Fresher anyway.
Amanda was watching that too recently. She
Nice.
randomly just was binging it. K-Walk says, how about bringing back Sliders? She did like Sliders back in the day.
Sliders was good.
Yeah. I feel like Sliders was my I wasn't watching the episodes, but it'd be playing on my TV like on a Friday night when TGIF was like reruns or something.
Yeah. That was a Fox show, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Man Collect says, going back to Witcher, he says, oh, sorry. He said, I didn't get past season 1, though. Oh, sorry. He said, Witcher did get better past season 1. And Patrick was saying, I too got 2 episodes into The Witcher and forgot about it. Kenobi says, no, just a bit disappointing in season 3 against season 2. Very similar themes. They undid a few things. And I felt Siri was not really advanced. Dre jumps in with novels and graphic novels are great for The Witcher. I have a few and it's great lore. And the Man Collects agrees with that sentiment. So yeah, the Witcher fan base is there. It is there for sure. Maybe I can give it a shot now that I've watched House of the Dragon. Because my love of fantasy stuff kind of ends with Lord of the Rings. Like, I love the concepts of everything, but I feel like a lot of fantasy shows go like they get too advanced, too technical in what's going on. Especially like, oh, this house, like in Game of Thrones, as an example, like this house, has this issue with this other house, which has this other issue with this other house. and then they're mentioning names. I'm forgetting who the names are. I'm just like, there's too much. Like, too much is happening at one time. Too much juggling happening at one time. But I got into House of Dragon, which may cause me to go back and attempt Game of Thrones a second time. And maybe now that I've warmed up to fantasy shows, I can probably attempt The Witcher again. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped season one, I think for over a year before I picked it up again. Two Christmases ago, maybe. I literally came home Christmas night from work, and I was pissed because I got stuck at work for way too long on Christmas. And I don't know, I was just like, for some reason, I was like, you know what? I want to watch Henry Cavill kill some shit, and I threw it back on, and I made my way through it.
Yep, that makes sense.
So, yeah. Nothing says Christmas like killing monsters, right?
There you go. There you go. I thought we can go a little old school for a second, and we'll do a live trailer reaction with everybody.
Oh, let's do it.
See, we'll see how long it takes to get banned on here, but we'll give it a shot.
Throw us in prison. We're gonna make you kick us right the fuck out.
Exactly. If you guys don't want spoilers it's not spoilers, but if you want to go in blind into What If Season 2, by all means, feel free. I feel like What If was a show that, happened, and as it was happening, people were like, whatever. And then the final, 2 episodes, when they show that everything in the season linked together, kind of sparked a little bit of interest. But I feel like overall, if we're talking side story stuff, What If was definitely the weaker over Star Wars Visions. Was definitely the weaker, definitely weaker under Tales of the Jedi. So let's see if season 2 can get us interested again.
This kid puts on quite a show.
I have eyes on the target. He does not look all that threatening.
Looks can be deceiving, Your Highness.
Are you sure you do not want any backup?
Nah, I'm great with kids.
I'll keep pausing just for, we don't get blocked.
Yeah.
2 things. One, I thought in season 1 of What If, they kind of established that all the multiverses that they created, because again, no continuity here, were destroyed. I thought that was how that show ended.
No, I don't think so. I think Ultron became aware of the multiverse and the Watcher. Did he destroy universes, or was he just trying to, and then that's what made the Watcher assemble the
that's what it was.
Yeah, the Avengers.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Maybe he did destroy a couple, but I don't think he destroyed all of them.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
He was doing the TVA's work.
Yeah. Again, that's quick detour there. That's why I don't like Loki, because Loki, I thought, set up a great roadmap for the multiverse stuff, and no movie has matched that or even matched each other on multiverse stuff.
So shouldn't that make you upset with the movies over Loki?
It devalues Loki to me.
Oh yeah, it devalues it, but I mean, I'm not upset with Loki season 1. I'm upset with how they didn't respect it.
Fair. 2, I was getting Franklin Richard vibes here, but I'm assuming it's not, because otherwise
it's Peter Quill.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah, the shirt. Yeah, it's Star-Lord.
Okay.
And you got the original Ant-Man was the Winter Soldier, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You have a variant of
Captain Marvel.
Yep.
And who the hell is the blue suit guy?
Blue suit was supposed to be in season 1 of What If, another Giant Man character, and then they pulled his episode at the end. They ended up not doing it. And the only reason we knew this was they dropped a figure for Goliath. That's right. They dropped a figure of Goliath in the Ant-Man wave, and people were like, "Why is this figure here?" And that's where they're like, "Oh, it was supposed to be in the show, and they pulled it."
You thought the story was over, but it was only just beginning. I don't do sequels normally.
It's weird because your company
Things have
is.
gotten a little twisted in the multiverse.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
Who is this handsome dog?
I was thinking Fusion Frenzy from Xbox. Oh, Mulan.
I've been looking for you for a long time. Time. Just be careful. I don't think I can bear to narrate what might happen next.
No.
Darcy, we got a code red. The Avengers Tower's been overtaken.
On Christmas? What is this, Con Air? No, wait, Under Siege? No. Oh, that's not it.
Hey, John McClane, focus.
I'm guessing you're not chomping at the bit to watch that.
Not at all. Not at all. Let me get to that little Avengers setup that we just had there. I love this concept. I love this concept of all these characters that were just sidebar characters for a long time being involved. It's great. But the fact that all the multiversal stuff has been messy, not connected. I don't know what's the true formation of the multiverse. It all means nothing to me at this point. They're just constant shows, constant movies. But I think there's somebody who might be able to help us figure this whole shit out. So out of multiverse 4, 6, 7, we have Aaron Waller in the house.
Oh,
What's up, y'all?
Wow. This guy.
No,
Good
it's been
evening.
a minute. I was like, oh, he sent the link and I missed it, so let me hop on now. It's probably the show's about to end, but
No, you're
better
good.
late than never.
Aaron, explain the multiverse to us.
please.
Same shit, different place. Different
Yeah,
shit, same
okay.
place. Kind of. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah. It makes zero sense to me.
No. I did watch the trailer for the What If, not with you guys. I watched it whenever it came out. I am kind of intrigued by the death race, whatever thing, but really, other than that, I don't really see a whole lot that I'm like dying to see.
Right.
I was really excited about the first season of What If, and then I was just like, I don't really know what's really happening here. Really good, cool stuff, but nothing that was like overly exciting. So I'm not chomping at the bit for this one.
Yeah, 1000%. But to answer Hobby Jose's question, we're not sure if he's not a variant. Aaron could be a variant right now.
Sam.
I mean, the beard, yeah. Could
True.
be. He could
I'm
be
sure I
from the
did
Star
get a
Trek
haircut
Mirror
yesterday.
universe.
Never know.
Yeah. So what have you with all the stuff happening, all the shows, the movies, you weren't able to make our podcast yesterday, but I'm curious to see what your answer is.
Yeah.
What was the your number one movie or project so far, and then of course, what was the worst so far to you? Well,
Like
actually,
the whole
movies.
strikes time?
We'll go
Or
with
like
movies. Yeah, the year to date.
year to date. I feel like I don't even know what happened this year, to be honest with you.
You know what?
It's hard
I'll pull up
remember.
the. Hang on. Let's go.
He's going to the Google Excel sheet.
You know it. You know
Gotta
it.
pull up the Excel sheet.
Steve, be honest. Do you have an Excel sheet like plastered to your headboard?
Yes.
Your organization is unmatched.
Yeah.
I wish to be as organized as you are sometimes.
I have it on a mirror, and every day I just look at it, and I'm like, you're the best Excel sheet. You're the.
He
best
just has
Excel
everything a beautiful mind style.
Yeah,
Exactly.
He
On the
actually has a
wall in front of
notebook
him.
of formulas.
sheet. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go back. I had it organized by who made the most money. Shout out to Rolando. Good to see you. But now, I feel like I've not said this a lot. This movie tracker we have is not every movie that's come out this year, but the ones that we would most likely talk about and that are in our realm of discussion. So the Guardians of the Galaxy was around the time the writer's strike happened, and we slowed down reviews on the channel. And then it wasn't until about Spider-Verse when the actor strike started and then we went cold turkey. So, kind of looking at your list here, did you have a favorite so far of the year, or even did you have a disappointment on the year?
I mean, just looking at the list, trying to remember what happened this year. Little Mermaid, I couldn't even get through.
Which one?
Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That I got through like the first 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. The Flash. Do we dare go into that territory?
Go for it. We have not talked about that actually.
Well, he and I have.
Pro for me was Mutant Mayhem. I know that one was kind of a little bit of a favorite amongst. Well, I don't know if Anthony, you ever ended up seeing that one or not.
I didn't, but because Steve enjoyed it so much, I am going to watch it on Paramount. I'm just gonna end up binging a lot of shit in the next couple days.
Good method. I haven't seen Mission Impossible yet. I really want to.
Paramount Plus, highly recommend it.
Is that one out yet? The last one?
Yeah, I think Sal watched it on Paramount Plus recently.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. I know I watched Transformers: Rise of the Beasts on Paramount. That one was actually kind of surprising. I wouldn't say it's like the worst, but I didn't mind that one so much.
That's what I was talking about yesterday. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
As the movie went on, I was like, "This is fine. This is fine."
Yeah,
and then the thing at the end, I was like, "Of course."
I'm curious to see how that's going to go more than anything, but I wonder how they're going to pick it up, because I know, obviously,
No spoilers,
is this going to
man,
be a whole new continuity, or from continuing the previous one.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Insidious: The Red Door was interesting. I don't think it was the best of the series, but I like how they kind of picked up with the same people, still the same kid and all that stuff. Fast X, Jason Momoa stayed that movie. Everything else, there's really no reason to watch that movie.
I need to watch that. I really need to watch that.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either.
He's kind of like a Joker, but more badass in a lot of ways. So it's kind of fun. He's the only person that's having fun. Meanwhile, Vin Diesel's doing his family thing.
Mm-hmm.
Serious family.
Blue Beetle, I haven't seen yet. It actually comes out tomorrow, I think, on Max. So I'm kind of waiting for that to watch it.
Oh, okay. That's great timing for our homework assignment.
It is.
Perfect.
What was Joyride?
Yeah, what was Joyride?
Number 60.
I'll show you.
The only one that I'm thinking of is, I think, the old Paul Walker movie.
That was called Joyride, I think. Yeah. So it's not the horror one, but it's all
Oh,
of
I
these
remember
girls.
trailers.
Yeah, all these girls and
I remember
actors
that.
roll in the Aquafina world.
Mm-hmm.
They're all on. I've seen them all on Nora from Queens, and it's this girl wants to find her family back in. I'm gonna say China, but I could be wrong. It might be Korea. So they're like, "Oh, let's go find your family because you were, I think, adopted," and wackiness ensues when they're over there. But it utterly bombed.
Bombed so much I never heard of it. So
Yep.
John Wick 4. Did I finish John Wick 4? I remember I started it,
I didn't.
but I feel like I kind of have to like rewatch the John Wick movies because they take place so like quickly one after the other that because they take like a year or two, obviously, till the next one, I forget what happens.
Right.
I feel like they try and do their little explainer, but I always forget what happens.
Yeah.
Elemental was pretty good. My wife liked it more than I did. Indiana Jones, I still haven't seen it, but I didn't
Don't
have a
bother.
whole lot of faith in it to begin with.
Yep.
See what else. The Creator, I know that just came out on digital. That one I really wanted to see. Heard a lot of good things about that one. So that's probably the most highly anticipated on this list. Maybe other than Mission Impossible for me.
I have high hopes for it. Not that anybody I know has seen it and spoken highly about it, but I really, really want The Creator to be a good movie.
Right, me too. What else is on the list? Five Nights at Freddy's, haven't seen it. Heard a lot of good things about it. Taylor Swift, absolutely refuse. The Marvels was better than I thought it was going to be. Aquaman 2 isn't out yet.
That's going to be in and out of theaters so fast.
Aquaman 2? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have... There's nothing for us there, I don't think. I mean, everything is dead. It's just the same thing over again. I feel like they're not even introducing a new character or a new plot other than I think it's Orm and him having to like work together. I don't know if he's like breaking him out of water jail, if I remember from the trailer. It's been forever since I watched it. But yeah, I feel like there's really nothing new happening.
Yeah. Yeah, T3 says Aquaman 2 straight to Max by January. Yeah.
And that's when we'll watch it.
That's when we'll watch it. Yeah. No, I mean, yesterday when we were, doing the breakdown, Oppenheimer came up a bunch as movie of the year, as surprise of the year. I hear it's going back to IMAX on a limited run, so I might try to check that out.
I haven't watched it. I don't really know if I want to. Like, it's kind of like the... Huh?
I did. I loved it.
You loved it? Okay.
I won't try to...
Is it really worth it just for the explosion, or is it like other stuff too?
Right.
Well, so I will say I didn't see it in IMAX, even though I wanted to, but it was just the theaters around were just like all sold out for the time period I had. So if they re-release it in IMAX, I'm going to definitely finally see it in IMAX for the first time. It was just like, I don't know, it was just a good movie. It was something different. It wasn't superheroes and flights and tights and all that shit. It like knowing a little bit of the background of the movie, not the well, okay, I know a little bit about the history, but like, hearing about how he shot it, how he didn't use CG, he used practical effects for all like there's stuff where he's talking about like atoms and like spinning around and like you see, I guess it's his imagination of what they look like or whatever, and like just hearing that he did all this stuff practically and things of that nature, and it really is. I think Sal said this too, but I mean he said it this way, I should say, but it's just the bomb is halfway through the movie, and then it's like all the shit that happened after it. And I didn't realize any of that about him. I never looked him up after the movie. I actually said I wanted to get like a book or something about him. I still haven't done it, but it was just an interesting movie, and like all the performances are really good. Robert Downey Jr. seeing him like, not to say seeing him act again, but even he said he was like, yeah, I was a little concerned after all the Marvel movies and stuff like that, could I do something like this? And it's like, yeah, he could. Like, he was great in it. Cillian Murphy was great in it. The whole cast. So
Yeah.
definitely surprised how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's just going to be like, oh, it's a Nolan movie, so that's my main draw to it. Like, I'm not interested in 90% of it. It's just however his style and whatever, he does with the whole explosion thing and all that everybody's so hyped about that has me interested. But the rest, I feel like I really care less about, and that's maybe why I'm not itching to see it as much as a lot of people. But I don't know.
I mean, I would, if I'm to play conspiracy theorist here, I'm putting Oppenheimer back out in IMAX to see if I can pass Super Mario Brothers. Like, I think hitting Barbie is going to be a stretch, but if you could sit,
they're not that far apart.
They're really not.
No, they're not.
Well,
but
Mario and Barbie, I mean.
100,000.
Yeah, they're close. But
yeah,
nobody gave Oppenheimer a chance. It wasn't until the memes of going to see Barbenheimer came out that that movie got some steam, and then that's when people were like, "Oh, it's actually a good movie. I'm gonna go see it again." Because you don't hit 900 mil if people are seeing it one time. Like, that's just not.
No,
it's not gonna happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the run here. It's like, let's see if we can hit that billion, and then catch Mario after that. That's the win. Sure. Something that I heard about for the first time on For Those Good Tastes. Shout out to Lenny. I'm gonna pull that up real quick. Hang on. Let's see. For those with here we go. Good Tastes. So right now, Lenny and Dante are at 93 subs. If any of you have not subscribed already to For Those Good Tastes, do that right now. See if we can get them to 100 before the end of the show. They've been cranking away, putting out the content, rocking the old school nerd affiliated hat, one of Lenny's favorite hats. But in this week's episode, they introduced me to something brand new. Didn't know it existed. You can go to AMC, choose a movie at a time, sit down for the movie, and not know what the movie is until it starts. Did you guys hear about
that? I heard that they've done a couple of those, and not a couple of them. Like, they have them every so often. I have not yet tried it. I'm more. Part of me feels like I want to be more like trying to figure out what it is, because like they'll post like what the runtime and like very, very obviously little information about it. Yeah. So part of me wants to try to have that investigation, figure out what it is, and then find out if it is actually that, and then either enjoy whatever random thing happens. Right. I feel like it's kind of exciting, but at the same time, you're just. Is it a reduced ticket price?
Well, here, let's we'll listen to them talk about it.
It's on my right side. Yeah, we went to the movies last night. It was a mystery movie night over at the AMC theaters. We purchased a ticket to a movie not knowing what we were going to see. And I wanted to kind of address that first and give some thoughts. Because going into the movie, I had questioned if this was going to be a way to, enhance the crowds going to the movie theater. Maybe not save the movie theater, because I don't know if any one thing can save the movie theater.
Facts. It was definitely a fun take on a movie.
Yeah, do you think this is a move in a positive direction for the people?
Yeah, I do think so.
I had a couple of takeaways.
All right, let's hear them.
So, looking at we were talking about this last week when we were kind of previewing the month of November for movies and just overall takeaways from this year in movies. The most successful things that have happened in movies this year is movies for kids, right? That is kind of, or I'll go even a step further. Movies that have targeted audiences.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, right
so
here.
Whether it's a Mario
He's not
movie
wrong.
that is, heavily going to be, it's going to gear heavily towards kids being able to go see it. It did have a larger audience than that, but I do think a main reason why it made as much money as it did was the lasting power from kids going to see it. A movie like Barbie, for instance, that is heavily targeted towards the female demographic,
Or a movie like Oppenheimer that's able to feed off of the success of Barbie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one's like maybe it's an own unique thing, right? Because like I think that did just piggyback off of like memes, essentially, is why that did so well.
Like I don't think that does as much as it does without Barbie.
But the difference here that I appreciate it
are we all on the same page on that one? That Oppenheimer only got its shine because of Barbie?
I would say no. I feel like having the Nolan aspect and it being something so practical was its own allure, but in combination with Barbie, it only helped build it. Or like having those two sort of contrasting things happen at the same time.
Yeah, no, I'm with Aaron on this. Like, I don't. Maybe it got some people after the meme thing, but yeah, no. Like, I mean, like I said, for me, it was Nolan. It was hearing how he shot everything, and it was just, I was interested in it. That's what got me.
Yeah.
And really quick, before we jump back in, Regal also does this. At my local theater, it's called a Monday mystery movie. The next one looks like it's on 11/27, and it's only $5.
All right, that's not terrible.
An hour and 24-minute movie. It's rated R. It says, be the first to see this new movie before its official release date for only $5. Just can't tell you the title. The next one is November 27th, so they do their own also.
All right, so let's all, while we're listening to this, try to figure out what is the hour and 24-minute movie that will be at the Real Cinema by Aaron. But now Aaron has to go and sacrifice his body on a Monday night to go to a theater and watch a movie.
I mean, as long as it's $5 and it's not that doesn't feel like as much of a sacrifice. If it was like the full price movie, and you're going in so blindly, I think it might hurt a little bit. But $5, I don't mind so much.
Yeah. All right, let's finish this one off.
My first initial thing that I noticed when we went to the movies yesterday was it was a pretty diverse crowd. I don't know if you had noticed that.
Yeah, I did notice.
I saw a mixture of people from like male, female, all walks of life, old, young. And I thought that was interesting, that like it kind of showed me people still go to the movies, right?
Yeah.
But you have to pick and choose so wisely now, especially if you don't have the memberships that we have, because of the cost of everything to begin with, right? I feel like tickets are expensive, concessions are expensive.
I feel like that's all the more reason to have the membership, but
yeah, sure, that's a conversation for another day, though. Time is expensive. Time is money, right? And like these movies that are coming in at 2 hours and something long, that you have to decide whether or not that's what you want to dedicate, both like your free time, your time away from whatever it is you do in your regular day-to-day life. So I think that the idea of not knowing what you're going to see created anticipation. That was another thing that I took away. The theater was relatively full, and we talked about it right before the movie, that right up until I knew what we were seeing, there was a certain level of like anxiousness.
Yeah,
it,
like
right?
You're still trying to figure it out right up to that last second. Like, what are they about to put on for us?
Like a level of anticipation to what we're gonna watch, and I thought that added to the experience, right? And I think that can go one of two ways, right? Because we talked about it. There was one couple that looked like they got up right when the movie started playing, but I think they came back in. If I'm being honest. I was pretty.
They might have, but yeah, it looked like as soon as they saw what it was, they were like, "Nah, we're not getting the movie we wanted, so we're just gonna walk out."
Yeah, like because I think we all had like ideas of what we were hoping it was gonna be.
My question for that though is like, say they didn't come back, right? Like, what's your backup plan? A Monday night, you're going to the movies. All of a sudden, it's not the movie you want to see. Where do you leave and go?
I mean, bars open everywhere. Monday Night Football's playing. There's stuff that you can do. Maybe there are wrestling fans. WWE Raw was on.
I'm hoping that would have been the answer. Is that all those people are like, I'm gonna go watch wrestling now. Yeah.
This sucks. I'm gonna go watch wrestling.
Yeah. I was gonna spoil what the movie was, but might as well just. It's less than
there's things
a minute left.
You know, I also think that like part of it is I would assume a decent amount of people. Was that exclusive to members, or could anybody buy tickets to that?
I think anybody could.
So, you know, if you had have gotten the tickets for no money,
because like we were members, and so it was included in our membership. But like otherwise, I think regular people would just buy it for like $5. I think it was.
I mean, when I got there though, there was like, you think it was like $5?
It was.
What the fuck?
It was.
That's crazy that they're giving away early tickets like that for that heavily of a discounted rate.
Well, think about the risk you're taking. It might not be a movie that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Right?
There was a decent amount of people who had already bought tickets when I got tickets though, like 2 or 3 weeks for it.
Yeah.
But if you did in fact have the membership, what's the harm in leaving? Right? If I paid nothing for this ticket and then I found out it's done, because truth be told, if you weren't there and it was a movie that I didn't care about, like that came on, I could have seen myself being like, yeah, who the fuck cares about this, and just go, you know, because what's stopping me if I'm not like financially invested at all and it's not something that piques my interest?
I feel like you took the time to get
we
there.
started like kind of.
So knowing what movie it was, having not seen it, would you have walked out if I wasn't there?
No, but you know, to get into the actual review a little bit, so it ended up being the Taika Waititi movie Next Goal Wins that we saw.
And I won't spoil their take on the movie. Definitely go watch their breakdown of it. We were talking about it yesterday, I think. If it wasn't with you guys, it was with T3. But the movie's not getting a lot of good reviews, and I was going into the conversation saying, I swear on Taika. Like, he makes gold to me, and I think Thor Love and Thunder was a troll. But that being said, I don't know if I would do it, man. Like, taking the time to drive to the theater, sit down, get through the previews, and then to K-Walk's point, if Mean Girls pops up on the screen, I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Aaron looks like he's going to go for it.
I mean, one time for a goof, maybe. And it is just $5. If you want to leave, you leave.
Yeah. I feel like, though, if I mean, I don't even know if it's just one of those, like, hey, let's just see what we get, roll the dice, or if you're willing to think, okay, there's some good stuff in the forecast.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that could potentially pique my interest? Or if you can deduce it based on runtime, rating, they give you all that stuff ahead of time. You could be wrong, but you could be right, and you end up seeing, maybe not like top tier, most anticipated movie of the year, whatever, upcoming, but at least you'll get something out of it.
I feel like this is because you guys all know how I feel about it, but just as a reminder, I feel like that is the ultimate nail in the coffin. That theater chains are like, please God, buy this $5 ticket, and I promise you, you'll be pleasantly surprised. But
I feel like that's the theater thing, though, is that they're maybe doing this not necessarily for buy the ticket, because they don't make the money off the movie; they make the money off the concession.
Right.
So if you're only paying $5 for the movie, but then you pay the $15, $20 for the popcorn and the soda, whatever, then they come out higher than, if you're just being like, oh, I got the paid for the ticket and, don't really have anything for the rest. So, bring in my own, sneak in my own snacks or drinks, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's just more of an incentive to buy from them.
I don't know. I feel like it's one of those sad attempts. Like it's when you the best analogy I can think of is you go to this cheap, like for free wrestling show at a brewery in your town, and imagine like, Mankind walks out, and you're just like, dude, I love you, but I feel like you're not here for the right reasons. Like it's, I feel like them being like $5 Russian roulette with movies is, please God, come to this theater. We're gonna like, because it's Monday nights too, so it's like you're really banking that people are gonna take time out of their day. I'm gonna drive out there, allocate the 3-4 hours, and not, be pissed off and not come back again. Because that's the other one too. I feel like if you get somebody to go to that theater, pay the $5, take their time, buy the popcorn, like you said, run you $30-$40. If I sit down and it's a shitty movie that I have no interest in, I'm not playing that game again. Yeah, one shot.
Definitely not.
One shot, one kill on this one. So
they should just do, instead of like a mystery movie, they should just do like a $5 like classic, like show Back to the Future or Ghostbusters, Goonies, original Top Gun, any of those. Like I'm talking about like older movies. Don't show me Captain America: The First Avenger.
Right.
Which I love the movie, but I'm just saying, like, show me something I haven't seen on the big screen in a long time.
That's a great point.
And they have a lot of those. I mean, they've been running. I know they. Sorry, they in my theater. I think it was right around the time I saw Ninja Turtles. They were promoting. Like they do different promotions, and I think they were running like Studio Ghibli movies for like an entire month. And then sometimes, every once in a while they'll pop up with or at least they used to, with like, seeing Die Hard next day or Titanic, one of those bigger spectacle type of movies usually. Yeah. But those can be a lot of fun, especially if you have like either a lot of nostalgia for it, you love it. I'm sure we would go see plenty of those movies if we had the opportunity and spend more money on that than obviously stays here, which I think is kind of the point.
I don't envision a scenario for me. I mean, maybe different if I had kids, like, I don't know, but, maybe with you, Aaron, you're like, oh, if we can get this one day just ourselves, let's just get the F out of the house. Like, at the moment, I don't envision saying, which we're just saying, I can now say my wife, that my wife and I would just be like, you know what? Yeah, we'll just be like, we're going to take a chill day, go out, not do the experience of a restaurant, a bar, a park, or anything like that, but our limited amount of time out of the house is going to be to a movie. Like I feel like that's tough if it's not a big budget, whatever. But hey, maybe, she's a Star Trek fan, so maybe if it was like, the voyage home is $5 and we both have the day off, all right, let's go check it out. And you've never seen that in theaters. But other than that, I just, it's a struggle. I can't, I'm sorry. I just think the theaters are just fucked. There's no way around it. Is what it is. But before we wrap today's episode, Aaron makes his big return to HeyArcher Live.
I plan on trying to be here more often, but
well, now
I finally had a moment. I was like, I'm gonna take it.
No, and now we can talk about the stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's just knock it out. Ahsoka, did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you want more of it, or are you just done with it?
Ahsoka.
Do you need me to remind you what that show is?
No,
is that where we're at?
I remember. It had more bad than good. I'll definitely say that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's with the Disney shows, especially now. I don't know if they're just taking their sweet time with every single project. If it was just a slowdown from the writers, the actors, whatever it was, but it's been a real drag lately. Like whenever they have a show, it's like it takes place. It's almost like watching the show 24, but like the slower version, where like every episode is almost like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, nothing really happened in this episode. Like 10 minutes in terms of like show time in that world rather than not runtime. But like nothing really happens, and then they'll either tease you just enough to get you to watch the next episode, or you just hold out that last little bit of hope of your fandom. But it's been such a drag, almost every single one of the shows. Ahsoka, I feel like it had the biggest potential. It had a lot of good stuff in it, but I don't think that it gave me anything what I thought it was going to give me from being a fan of Rebels. And Anthony and I talked about it just before the writer's strike and all that stuff, I think.
talked about Rebels.
Yeah, we had talked about Rebels going into Ahsoka. But yeah, I would say disappointed more than anything else.
Anthony, is this show better or worse than Kenobi?
This show is way worse than Kenobi. I liked Kenobi.
Same.
I liked Kenobi. Fucking come at me.
I feel like we're in the minority on that one. But
yeah,
Aaron,
but
is it better or worse?
Is Ahsoka better or worse than Kenobi? I would say Kenobi was better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Kenobi was better. It had a lot more things happening. I mean, even if it played a little bit more into some of the more nostalgia stuff with like Leia or whatever the case may be, when you're sort of questioning some of it, but it was way more entertaining than 90% of what was happening on Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Was that the show that... Oh, no, that was Mando. Sorry, never mind. I couldn't remember what was the show, the Star Wars show that had Jack Black on it. It was Mando.
Yeah, that was Mando.
Wow, I forgot.
Mando and Lizzo?
Yep.
Was that her name?
Same episode, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony, like, even just to answer this question from T3, because he's saying, what do you guys think theater chains will need to do something else? Sorry. Do you think... Wow, hang on. Do you guys think theater chains will need to do something else in order to get butts in seats, like mystery movies? Sorry, like mystery money $5 movies. So, tying that into what we just said, if you had the choice, you can go back in time, and you learned that an episode of Ahsoka was going to debut in theaters for $5, was something like that get you to go, even if you weren't liking the show?
I don't know. I mean,
they kind of did that a little bit, right? I mean, they showed some of the...
They did show an episode or two in the
episode,
theaters.
I think.
It was the Anakin episode.
Yeah. And then I heard something about them potentially showing like Loki in theaters. I don't know if it's like the finale that they're playing or something like that. I don't know how true that was. I guess it kind of depends on how into the show or what the anticipation or sort of buildup of it might be.
Like, if they did... So, if they did... Going back to Kenobi then, let's use Kenobi as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Not as... I mean, well, okay. Well, Kenobi's been out. We've talked about it, so this way I can talk spoilers for Kenobi. The final episode where it's the Battle of Mustafar Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you show that on Disney Plus, and then you say, "Hey, we're doing a special run of this episode in the theaters, but guess what? It's not 3 hours. It's the 3-hour cut of Revenge of the Sith type of thing. The fight goes on and on and on, and it's even more epic. And like, you know, basically just tell me like, hey, we have a lot of stuff from the fight that we cut out for TV. It's all in there.
Mm.
Tell me what I'm getting, and then yeah, maybe I'd like to see Darth Vader and Kenobi throw down on the big screen again, and that would be cool. But if you just tell me, you have to hit me with the premiere, because, you know, after the premiere of Ahsoka, I was pretty much like, I'm not sure I like this. I don't know. So, you know, if the pilot doesn't grab me, then I'm not going to go see a later episode where I'm just kind of watching it. Like, I made myself watch it thinking we were going to talk about it. The hell was that?
Sorry, that was my YouTube screen.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh shit, I'm hearing things. Yeah, so it could work if it's like the first example, but if it's for a show that's already going on and personally I'm not liking it, I'm not going to go spend money, $5 or not. I'm not going to spend $5 at the theater when I already spend whatever it is I spend on Disney Plus a year to go see it.
I feel like unless they had some type of incentive where they said, okay, we're playing the supercut of, assuming you liked it enough, of the season or whatever in theaters. Like if they would have said, okay, maybe like The Last of Us, if they played that in theaters, I feel like that might be more worth it than going to see Ahsoka. But if they're also only going to show me the 40-minute episode, even though it is awesome, it's got to be that $5 ticket. Like I'm not going to pay like the $20 full price 2-hour movie ticket price for 40 minutes, of which only about 10 minutes is kind of cool, or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So it's kind of a rough area. I think they could play some shows in seasons. I think that would maybe, obviously not the longer ones, but maybe like shorter 8 to 8 episode certain ones. Because even if they trim some of the fat in there, because there's a lot of filler, that might be worth it, but it's still kind of a tough sell.
Yeah, do like a super.
Or if they had a promotion with, oh, you have Disney Plus, if here's a $5 off, even if it's $10 and they still make it $5 off, whatever. Because I bought like movies on Vudu, like if I don't know, for example, Ninja Turtles is coming out. They'll have like a promo. Oh, if you buy a movie that's from this category of usually like Ninja Turtles or related content, they'll give you like part of the movie ticket for going to see it. So if it's got some kind of incentive, discount, whatever, I'm already a Disney Plus subscriber. I can get, a $5 off for going to see whatever the latest Disney movie is. I would be more interested in seeing it rather than saying, oh, I have no interest in the first place.
Yeah,
that would be more of a driver for me. But
well, I mean, this is a conversation for, I feel like, a podcast.
We're gonna go for another 6 or 7 hours on that.
I mean, I think the title would have to be like "How to Save the Movie Industry," because at this point, I mean, even with the way the economy is, it seems like the overall theme is if I'm not getting a deal, I'm not doing it. And it's happened in the toy industry where most of us in the chat who collect figures, if it ain't on clearance, we're not buying it. Same is going to go for the movies. If it's $20 just for a ticket, not worth it. And the $5, to Lenny's point in his video, even at $5, time is valuable. And if you don't get your time's worth, doesn't matter how much the cost is. So, I definitely think we should continue this conversation. And then we have to continue the Star Wars conversation because, Mando, Ahsoka, a lot of fans were claiming Ahsoka was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and we need to wreck that shit.
Yeah. And we all have to tuxedos for the like Step Brothers for the podcast.
Yeah,
we're here to fuck shit up.
Yeah. I mean, we do have to suit up for one thing. Where are you at? When is... Okay, so the next suit up...
Looking up what I think you're looking up.
Yep. The next suit up will obviously be Ghostbusters, March 29th.
Oh, yes. I think I would do I'm too old, I'm too tired 99% of the time. I think I would do a midnight movie.
You don't even have to because they do them on
Thursdays. You probably don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. As soon as I said it, I realized they do like 8 o'clock on a Thursday night. Mm-hmm. But just to show, I'm trying to show how in I am.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Are you so in you're gonna wear your proton pack to the movie?
That was the question.
No, because that's gonna be uncomfortable as fuck in the theater all night, man. I'll bring the wand and I'll make some sort of mini proton pack to power it. But also there is I put it on my story. There's going to be I think a 4-issue comic filling the gap between Afterlife and Frozen Empire. So
yeah,
we have that to look forward to also.
Yeah, that's a that's a conversation I think I will reserve for you to talk about on the channel. But
A
Dave
comic
said,
and Ghostbusters and all that stuff. Yeah, that's Anthony's department.
That's me. Yep.
Dave says a pack in the theater isn't an easy thing to do. Trust me. Hey, we believe you.
See? He's with me.
I'm not saying you have to wear the pack in the movie.
Exactly.
Like during the entire time having to sit at like the edge of your seat because you're got a pack. That's not what I'm saying. You can take it off.
Yeah.
But are you going to make that commitment? You have to make the TikTok of I need a ticket to the movie, and they'll be like, "What movie?" And the camera pans
Exactly.
to you. Have all your Ghostbusters stuff on. There you go.
Yeah. I'm taking my ass to a theater in cosplay for Ghostbusters, and just gonna put the pack in my car when I'm done, or before the movie. I'll
okay. Listen, yeah, I'm thinking you wanted me to have the thing with me the entire time. I don't want to worry about the pack in the theater.
Although, just to I'm gonna be special needs on this one. The epic picture that would exist if the front of the theater was just everybody's packs. Like people were like, everybody was in agreement. We're gonna coat check our own proton pack, but put it in the front of the theater, like just all across the wall, like just rows of proton packs. No theft. We all agree here. You just put your pack there. That would be a sick picture.
That would be crazy.
I would just keep the pack with you for like that moment in the movie where they're all doing the thing, and then you get to do the thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. I'm going to keep it with me the entire movie.
I mean, you do have room if it's the theaters with the reclining chairs. Just that nobody can get up to walk to the bathroom. Like you're committed at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Dave even says, buy 2 tickets, 1 for you, 1 for the pack. So,
I mean, yeah, why not? I spent enough money on the pack. I guess another $15 or $20 for its own seat.
Yeah, it's like on a date.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you have to buy your service dog a ticket on an airplane or something.
Exactly. This was fun. I'm glad both of you guys jumped on the show. The only one we were missing was Sal, but it's all right. He's
I had to make up for my loss of the other day's podcast, so.
You're good. Any upcoming reviews that we should be on the lookout for, or you might be actually hitting the strike wall, like you're hitting the wall of content kind of running out because of when the writer's strike happened. But I mean, I can think of Reacher, but is there anything that you're looking forward to that you're going to be talking about on Neurogenic?
I don't know, honestly. I'm kind of. I want to watch Invincible, but I know I'm gonna want to watch it like more in depth. So I'm kind of like at least giving it a few weeks, so I can kind of a little bit more binge it. So I'm kind of waiting on that. Finished Gen V, which was kind of fun and interesting. Is there anything upcoming? Yeah, like you said, Reacher season 2. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to anything else, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think.
Well, while you think about it, Anthony, anything coming down the pipe you want to plug?
I definitely want to watch Reacher season 2. I'm enjoying Invincible season 1, and I can't wait to get caught up to season 2. Witcher, and like I said the other day, like I read a lot of comics during the strike. I just, because of all the cosplay stuff, I never reviewed any of that, but I have pretty much read the last year's worth of Nightwing, and I've caught up on most of from the for God's sakes, I've talked about this the entire summer.
White Knight.
Thank you.
White Knight.
Yep. Brain no worky. Yeah. I covered Beyond the White Knight, but there was Generation Joker, and there's going to be another. There still is another main sequel to following Beyond the White Knight that's got to come out. But yeah, Batman, Nightwing. There's the War for Gotham is currently the event going on. It's a war between Batman and Catwoman, which I'm not going to say too much about. But so yeah, so some comic reviews. I want to watch Reacher and those other shows. Yeah, I got work to do.
Yeah, I think we all do. Yeah.
Yeah.
One, I agree with everything they said, so I have nothing else to add outside of we're gonna do our homework and watch Blue Beetle. All of us will watch Blue Beetle, so we can talk about it.
Tomorrow, yep.
And we will plug the list. So we started a letterboxed list, nerd affiliated on there, and it was a community effort. We made our top 10. I mean, we did all the MCU as far as we could think. I think there's a couple things missing that nobody cared about, but I feel like from 2020 up is where we did a lot of discussion on. So definitely check it out. We're going to be making way more lists about different movies, different franchises. So give us your thoughts on that. JB says number 2 is number 1 for him. Interesting. We can definitely talk about that on another episode. But lastly, as far as upcoming content, we will be having Great Scott Prop Shop back on the show. Super excited for that because we need to talk about not just the Ghostbusters trailer, but what his plans are for Proton Pack mods. So I don't know if it's going to be a HeyArcher Live, a recorded podcast, but Anthony and I will be there with him because we got to talk Ghostbusters. I mean, we got a new movie coming out, and everybody's excited. We got a HasLab, so maybe that's it. Maybe we time the episode for around the time the HasLab is ending, because then we can see if he has any plans for that too, about modding the HasLab. So do that.
Can we do a quick check on that before we go?
Yeah, why not?
I think it was at like 142%, maybe. Yesterday, anyway.
So the next goal was 15,000.
Other tier things?
No, I think 15,000 is the next tier.
Yeah. So we're close. We're close to 15,000. 15,000 gets you the holster for the trap, I believe.
I want to say yes. I think the meter is the last.
Yep. So we're trying to get that holster for the trap and the HasLab patch. 15,000. And then 18,000 is the PKE meter holster. So we'll hit it.
And like you said, that's totally Han Solo.
Right?
Yeah. Once you said that, I can't see anything else. It's Harrison
Why didn't
Ford
they use it
above the crowd.
Anybody in jumpsuits?
Yeah.
Did they not have that foresight, or
they had access?
I mean, I guess none of them are in jumpsuits. Neither is that person.
But they had the access to it.
Yeah.
They did they did a video where they pulled up with an Ecto 1 to Hasbro headquarters, and that was from, I think, the Massachusetts Ghostbusters. So you definitely had access, but they probably tried to keep it a secret. You don't want the HasLab to leak beforehand, and then of course they leaked it the same day beforehand by mistake, which was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious.
Nice.
But yeah, pumped for that one. So yeah, I'll message Great Scott, and we'll see about lining that up to when the HasLab's ending. I think that'd be good timing for the algorithm, as they say. Gentlemen, pleasure, honor, and why don't we do this again sometime?
Yes.
Love that.
Thank you, sir.
Make it more frequent.
There you go. HeyArcher Live every Thursday. Wow, next week's Thanksgiving. That's insane.
Jeez. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, so I might take a week off from HeyArcher Live, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Normally, HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15ish p.m. here at Nerd Affiliated. Every Monday morning, including next week, every Monday morning, 9 a.m.-ish here on Nerd Affiliated, we have Nerdy Coffee. 2 different shows, 2 different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with these guys. As T3 said, smash that like button. Wow. All right, it's time to call it an episode. Smash the like button. Head over to Nerdgenic. Give Aaron Waller some likes, some views, some subs there. He'll be here on the channel as well. And of course, for those good tastes, link was pasted in the comments. Subscribe over there. Let's get Lenny to 100. And we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace.
Buy merch.
Buy merch.
Buy it. Buy the merch.
Support your friends. Support your friends. We're out of here.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.